Don't mess with the best!
Any trouble I should know about?
I don't want any trouble in my place. I'll set him up. You knock him back.
Hey, there you are. Been wondering how you were doing. Did you manage to find those recordings? Sure, I'm an open book. Oh, I've tried, make no mistake. I've caught a couple of rides out with Sublight folks, but the board's fixers always send me right back. And I'm not about to stand toe-to-toe with Marauders just to fulfill a line item on a contract. Someone had been trying to steal them since the day my assistant and I started interviewing. Couldn't even keep them in my safe. They always found a way in. So I took to hiding them all over the fucking asteroid. Thought I was so clever. What a fool I was. Frenetic, chaotic, vicious, take your pick. I wasn't here at the start, but going off what folks told me about the early days, Gorgon started out with promise. The board's best and brightest were excited to work here, said it was a good posting. The project director had a vision and big, bold ideas. As long as the board gets their bits, that's just the cost of doing business. Thing is, the schedules coming out of the corporate office were unrealistic from the get-go, and they were trying to do the project on a shoestring budget. Couple that with the obvious personnel problems and toxic junk in the product, it was only a matter of time before it all went to hell. Could have been, yeah. Marauders didn't just fall out of the sky one day. They were made here on Gorgon. How, though? That's the question. Sprat Shack legend has it they crawled out of the mines one day. Heard one fella suggest they might even be aliens. I think the drug they were developing here turned people into marauders. Not on purpose, mind, but over time. Marauderhood's not the flu. It ain't contagious and they don't reproduce. So how else would they get all over the colony?
If anyone could screw something up that bad, it'd be Spacer's Choice.
I don't have proof, mind. It's just a hunch. Nice enough guy. Fashioned himself one of those professional gumshoes, like in the serials. They usually work for the board, rooting out dissidents and the like. Lucky though, he was freelance. Worked for anyone who paid, no matter their allegiance. You ask me, I think the guy just likes snooping around in folks' terminal messages. No, but I'd wager Lex does a lot of weird shit she doesn't tell anyone about. That's the sublight way. Gotta say though, mailing a stranger some dead guy's arm probably tops the list. At least I'd hope so. Shit, any number of things. Fire, primals, sabotage. It didn't happen all at once, but it happened fast enough folks couldn't respond in time. Now, if you're asking how it all kicked off, might have been spies that did it. Corporate espionage, you know. Anti-Cleos. I never did figure it out. Not about to try now. Adrenatime, I'm sure you know it, was a drug, something to make folks work harder, work smarter. Had a lot of nasty side effects. Didn't seem so bad to me at the time, but then I hadn't met the test subjects yet. The whole thing was real hush-hush. A lot of worry about corporate spies, especially from Anti-Cleos. I probably shouldn't even be mentioning it to you, to be honest. Spacer's Choice, they're really not fond of spies. Not much, except that there was a whole gaggle of them, and so far as I could tell, they absolutely hated each other. Dr. Ambrose would hardly let me speak to any of them, but she complained about him all the time. Everything seemed like. Marion Blakesley, for example, lady who ran HIA, wouldn't return any of her messages. Not once, for years. Jasper Lowe, guy who headed up Chem, was high more than he was sober. He insisted on running special tests on primals, too. Law knows what for. Dr. Ambrose really had it out for this guy Lawrence Goodfellow. Ran OCI. Would lose his shit if he saw red on a schedule. By the end, I heard folks were turning in completely bunk progress reports just to keep him out of their hair. Had this little minion, too, an actuary named Clarence Mosley, obsessed with quantifying every detail of his sad little life. Mosley was the guy who got me mixed up in all this. Asshole. I hope a primal ate him. Oh yeah, it wasn't just that Dr. Ambrose hated them. They seemed to hate each other, too. OCI pushed a ludicrous schedule. Chem made a bad product, and HIA returned garbage results. A regular merry-go-round of shit flying in every direction. It's no surprise it all fell apart.
Shit, blood, trust us. They left a lot of messes behind.
We've been to the Gorgon facilities. What Spacer's Choice did here is so much worse than you can possibly imagine.
My editor said my prose was too purple, and here I could have gone vermilion. Not a problem. Anything else? Well, I'll be damned. Now I can finally get off this rock and go home. I know it's not much, but take the last of my bits. You've earned every single one, friend. My pockets? Oh, sure, here's a few more bits for your trouble. Call it hazard pay. You can't understand what you've done for me, friend. Thank you. Be careful out there. Gorgon doesn't take prisoners.
You find anything out there, you let me know. I'm ready to get off this rock. Looking for something out there. My husband, I gave it... That's it, all right. Law. Still smells like his whiskey, his cigarettes, and that awful cologne he bathed in every morning. Here. I saved up for this, just in case I needed to go out into the ruins myself. Truth be told, I'm glad I never had to use it. You didn't happen to find anything else out there, did you? A marauder? You're telling me he's been alive all this time? Don't tell me that's the end of it. Was there anything else? And we'll never know for sure. But I don't blame you. Space's choice sure did a number on us all. Jerome got me out of Gorgon. I can honor his memory by staying out. Time to hit the dusty trail. Be seeing you, stranger.
I was expecting that to go a lot worse, but I usually avoid the hard conversations.
I don't think that's what you wanted to hear. But I'm glad you were honest.
I hope you don't mess with us.
Let's
Finally, the SMC. We'd better be getting paid overtime after all this.
We made it this far. How bad could it be?
Welcome to the Adrenatime Synthesis and Manufactory Center, brought to you by Spacer's Choice. This productivity automechanical unit is at your disposal. Its normal duties involve the management of legacy operations analytics. However, due to the promotion, demotion, death, or injury to other managers of this facility, this unit is now the acting manager of the following departments: reception, human resources, accounting, technical support, manufacturing, distribution, security. Please direct any questions about those departments to Pam. Answers not guaranteed. According to this facility's records, the Legacy Operations Analytics Department is located on Sub-Level Floor 1. Its functions include warm bodies and redacted. Access to that department is currently denied due to a lockdown in the sub-level stairwell. We value each and every member of the Spacer's Choice family, so be proud. On average, you contribute positively to a minimum of 1.44 important spreadsheets per quarter. That was one of Pam's patented pep talks designed to efficiently eliminate any negative feelings that are getting in the way of your work. After all, Pam's purpose is to answer one question: how can I increase your productivity today? Spacer's Choice likes to maintain a positive work environment, so if you have to cry, please do so in the supply closet. A happy team is a productive team, so please remember to meet your merriment quota of 3.47 hearty laughs per hour, or 6.85 sensible chuckles. Thanks! Reminder, please do not reheat your salt tuna in the company kitchens. Save that savory smell for your own micro apartments. Remember, Spacer's Choice is a family, so overtime is really family time. Don't forget to add an exclamation point and a smiley face to your company messages. That's how we know you're having fun. I really need you to be a team player. A happy team is a productive team, so please remember to meet your merriment quota of 3.47 hearty laughs per hour, or 6.85 sensible chuckles. Thanks! Pam helps each and every member of the Spacer's Choice family be the best they can be. When you're managed by Pam, your workday gets unjammed. Don't think of Pam as your boss. I'm just your pal, here to make sure that every member of the Spacer's Choice family stays on task and on schedule. With Pam at the helm, you'll never be overwhelmed. Feeling down? Pam is loaded with over 1,000 encouraging messages, each designed to make you feel like an important member of the Spacer's Choice family. Schedule slipping? Not to worry. Pam tracks all of your deadlines and has the tools to whip your efficiency back into shape. You'll be a team player in no time, thanks to Pam. Uh-oh. Has dissident propaganda corrupted your workforce? Not a problem. Pam comes equipped with a military-grade N-ray cannon and a coat of our patented plasma proofing. With a 98.3% riot suppression rate, when Pam is here, your metrics have nothing to fear. How can I increase your productivity today? The Adrenatime Synthesis and Manufactory Center is where Spacer's Choice's newest product is being created. Get a leg up on the competition with Adrenatime. You are now in the lobby. The floors above you are the offices, the manufactory, and the Adrenatime synthesizer. The floors below you are the sublevels and the synthesizer reactor. How can I increase your productivity today? Did you know that keeping your workers alive boosts productivity? That's why every PAM unit comes equipped with the latest Spacer's Choice weaponry. When PAM's emergency combat protocols are activated, your investments are sure to be protected. Warning: due to power consumption, combat protocols cannot be activated when PAM's power is below 73% without deactivating managerial processes. Spacer's Choice policy dictates that managerial processes take priority. This unit's power rating is 57%. Hate messing with tangled cables or confusing batteries? With PAM, you'll never have to. Just pop in a Firefly brand industrial strength battery and PAM's ready to go. Out of batteries and need productivity now? No problem. Just hook Pam's power source up to another automechanical and Pam will get your employees back in line in no time. Emergency combat protocols cannot be engaged at less than 73% power without proper authorization. Please ensure that this unit is fully charged, or present your override password. Password incorrect, but I love your passion. Keep up the good work. Employee identification number. How can I increase your productivity today? Emergency combat protocol. How can I increase?
Hey, nice. They made a statue out of Martin.
Can't buy taste.
Show your boss that you are prime, because you take Adrena time.
Hello there. How can I increase emergency combat? Please ensure. Password accepted. Congratulations. You are properly authorized to activate emergency combat protocols. Error. Employee's biometric ID does not match this unit's designated manager. Proceeding with verbal management test. Pretend that this PAM unit is one of your employees who's been working long hours. What would you say to give them an extra pep pill in their step? When you get in early and get out late, you're our favorite kind of teammate. Remember, PAM tracks every second you're at your desk. Employees in the 93rd percentile or higher get an encouraging platitude every day. Verbal management test complete. Result. Employee is a Spacer's Choice manager. 94% certainty. Engaging emergency combat protocols. Stand by. Security threat eliminated. Returning to normal protocol. Threat level neutralized.
Wow, nice work.
Beginning security patrol.
They got the drop on us.
Show your boss that you are prime, because you take a dream at a time.
You gotta teach me that.
Fancy looking staircase. Mind your step, boss.
got nimble fingers, Captain.
Nobody messes with you, boss!
Won't try that again. Real slick. Phineas would love this.
Huh. Thought they'd be using more assisty big parts or something.
That's gotta be Ambrose's office. We're close, Captain.
You gotta teach me that.
That's enough. Gorgon is mine. Go now, and I will not pursue you. But if you stay, I will send every last lawless fucking mercenary in Halcyon on you. It's your choice, Captain.
We're not gonna let this sprat fuck tell us what to do, are we, Captain?
Well, I thought about it, and I'm still gonna dropkick this coward the moment I get a chance.
We are receiving an incoming signal, Captain.
Captain, I see you've made some headway on Gorgon. Mother's old work terminal just lit up with a bunch of new protocols. Very exciting. What about Mother's journal? Any progress there? Are you accusing me of deception? Captain, I would never. Can you hear me, Captain? I'm getting some interference on my end. Captain! Captain!
Hello again, little weasel. I must admit, you've surprised me. I threw nearly everything I had at you, and you overcame it all. Did you really think I would leave my life's work in the board's incompetent hands? Someone had to protect Gorgon from those vultures.
Mother! You're alive! And still on Gorgon? This is so you, Mother. Inserting yourself where you aren't needed and at the worst possible time.
Am I disrupting your vanity project, you empty-headed little twit?
Mother is going to fill your head with lies about me and Gorgon. Don't listen. Have you come back just to ruin everything again, Mother? At least this time I have the power to stop you.
Captain, this is a distraction. Let's set our differences aside and focus on what matters. Adrena time must never be revived.
Adrena time didn't create Marauders, mismanagement did. By now, you realize that Project Gorgon was devoted to a single drug, Adrena time. A drug that hit the market in spite of calamitous side effects. Quite right. There's no end to the harm a poorly run team can do, even with the best of intentions. The project was a colossal failure. But you and I are going to revive it from the ashes. Adrena time was a lie. Our drug will fulfill its broken promise for workers and employers across the colony. Mother wasn't equal to the task. Thankfully for us both, I'm not my mother. Give it some thought, Captain. We've come so far together. Don't abandon me now. Mother's journal contains the activation codes for the Adrena time synthesizer, the key to a new Project Gorgon. We're going to start again, and this time with everything Project Gorgon didn't have. Better R&D, better scientists, clear goals, more funding, and a timeline that makes sense. Who else? Spacer's Choice. After I showed them the error of their ways, the corporation couldn't wait to restart the project. If I can improve the chemistry, I can fix Adrena time. We can put this colony back on track together. I learned from her mistakes, and I have no intention of repeating them.
Listen to yourself. Adrena Time ruined lives. It killed people, changed them. And now Halcyon buckles beneath the yoke of my failure. We can't risk opening Pandora's box a second time.
What about my life, Mother? The Ambrose name has no dignity anymore. I can't even show my face around Byzantium without being the gossip of the town. Of course! What do you think this is all about? Why do you think Spacer's Choice is willing to write me a blank check? Every day, workers slump over from exhaustion. The gears of industry swallow them whole, and no one is coming to help. Adrena Time is the break we can't fit into the schedule. The office with a window we can't afford to build. It's the best this rotten colony can do for people. It's a bandage, not a cure. Halcyon is wounded, and I will do everything in my power to stop the bleeding.
Don't let those bloodless leeches at Spacer's Choice walk you down this perilous path, Wilhelmina. You haven't the fortitude to endure it.
As usual, Mother projects her failures onto me. If she had let me get involved from the start, we might have avoided this calamity altogether.
Minnie doesn't have the mind or the backbone to do the truly difficult work of genius. She is an empty-headed social climber, nothing more.
You see what I mean? Mother is afraid of being outdone by her empty-headed daughter, and she'll do anything to stop me. If I can save the colony and redeem the Ambrose family name, I owe it to myself to try. Mother be damned. We already had our chance. Mother chose to bury the project and drag our family down with it. I won't allow her to make that mistake twice.
In rehabilitating Adrena Time, she would poison Halcyon. No, we are well past the point of compromise. The facility must be destroyed.
I need that facility online, but I can't do it while Mother's still a problem. By now, she'll have shut down the Gorgon reactor. Deal with her however it suits you, and get that facility back up and running.
Don't do this, Wilhelmina. Minnie, don't make this choice.
Adrena Time is our future. It's bigger than money, bigger than family. It's the colony's best hope.
Return to my family's manor, Captain. Use the executive override code in my journal to activate the NDA protocol for my terminal. It will destroy the Gorgon drug synthesizer and put an end to Adrena Time for good. Don't pretend you haven't seen its effects with your own eyes, here and elsewhere. We live in a vicious world, Captain, and Adrena Time is to blame. I should have smothered it in its crib at the start. My daughter's gotten her hooks into you. I understand. She's always had a knack for manipulating people. But I know you're more than her foolish little puppet. You've survived this long. You have to be more. She will try to force you to fight her. You don't have to. In fact, I would ask you not to. Whatever mistakes she might make, she is still my daughter.
Captain, in light of recent events, I'm putting the manor under lockdown. Until Mother is dealt with, anyone who lands here is presumed hostile. Finish the job. I know you won't disappoint me.
Welcome back, Captain. How can I be of assistance? Goodbye.
I could probably spend years fixing this boat. Can't help wondering if we're doing the right thing. For us, the Ambroses, or even Halcyon. Maybe there's some way we can get them to work together and fix this. Ain't no good can come out of turning that machine back on, Captain. Not after what we've seen here. Even with Miss Minnie at the helm, how can we be sure Spacer's Choice doesn't do Adrenatime all over again, but worse? Dr. Ambrose means to make certain they can't even try. I know she ain't exactly a nice lady, and it's her fault the colony's even in this mess in the first place. But she means to stop the hurt she caused. We gotta help her try. You mean, like, on a cure? Now there's a powerful notion. It won't be easy, that's for sure. Dr. Ambrose thinks Minnie's good for nothing, and Minnie thinks her mom hates her. If we could somehow show him that ain't true, and that a cure's even possible... Captain, it just might work. If something good comes out of all this, I'll be beside myself. Thanks for asking my thoughts, Captain.
You ain't making a lick of sense, Max. Of course I got a self. I'm me, Felix Millstone.
No. That is just a story you've been building for yourself from a very young age.
There, see? You just said yourself. Yourself. Guess I got a self after all. Checkmate, preacher.
Semantics and nothing more. The construction of our language assumes the existence of a self.
Whoa, slow down. What's this about construction work?
Our language has all manner of paradoxes contained within it. Tell me, what happens to your lap when you stand up?
What are you talking about? Max, you've been acting real funny ever since you and that hermit sniffed all them drugs. Maybe you ought to ask Ellie to take a look at your head.
Captain? Something on your mind? And I thought my mother was a handful. This job has gotten messy. Hey, you're the captain because you're the one who has to think about this stuff. I'm just along for the ride. Fine. You know I'm not one to pass up a good payday. But after everything we've seen, handing Gorgon back to Spacer's Choice doesn't sit right. Dr. Ambrose may be almost as crazy as Phineas, but she may be right, too. If you say so. I still took the last Zero-G brew from the fridge and didn't buy more. What's on your mind? Sure. Something on your mind?
Status report. 13. Job.
Hey, Cap. I wish I could set this entire asteroid ablaze. No amount of booze is ever gonna chase the sight of a meat cube from my memory. I've seen animals tearing one another apart. I've shot folks, been shot by folks. I once saw Cat Malin shove an assassin into a sulfur pool. He dissolved. But those weren't choices. Mana pillars don't give you moral options. What went on in those labs, the suffering they caused, they chose it. There's always a choice, Captain. I know that sounds like a hollow platitude, but some of these folks should have chosen death over what they did. There's a certain kind of consistency to the board's decision-making. It's about the bottom line. People are just resources with costs and yields. So I used to think, well, if they're leaving Monarch, maybe they need the resources to build better elsewhere. Yeah, they spent the money on diet fucking toothpaste. Ain't no hope left in this colony, Captain. Not while the board's still intact. Good. I don't know what comes after that. I ain't exactly an expert on building a government. But if places like Gorgon are possible here, we can do better than that at least. Hey, thanks for talking. It helps.
As always, I am at your disposal. Anything you'd like to discuss? Now that we've gotten Olivia's side of this whole fiasco, have you given much thought as to who you'll be siding with? It's not my place to say, Captain. You run this crew. I merely serve on it. Of course, but perhaps I was interested to hear your thoughts before possibly biasing you with mine. They have both suffered greatly. A reconciliation could go a long way toward healing their relationship and perhaps even some of the damage done to Halcyon in the name of progress. I would have to suggest you consider helping Olivia. I believe Minnie means well, but she's playing with forces she doesn't understand. And I don't just mean Adrenatime. Even were she to succeed, what would it mean to the people of this colony? Do you really think they'd be given a choice as to whether they used a drug that boosted their productivity? And, even in the unlikely chance they were, I do not believe the colonists are equipped to make that decision for themselves. You've seen how they rationalize even the most abhorrent corporate practices. The board will work them to death even more effectively than they do currently, and they'll thank them. Will that be all? I find myself marveling at the complex simplicity.
Good to see you, boss. Looks like you got a big decision to make. But I guess that's why you're the boss. I'm glad you asked, because that's an easy one. Project Gorgon was a mistake, and it needs to be destroyed. I was wrong about Miss Ambrose. I thought she was different. Turns out she's just like any other wealthy elite. Miss Ambrose thinks she's doing right by the common worker. But she never hauled boxes for a couple bits a day, or slept alone in a cargo hold, or had to eat salt tuna. Probably. I ain't sticking my neck out for Doc Ambrose. She's a monster, just like everybody else on Project Gorgon. But at least she knows what she's done. Justify it however you want, boss. Nothing good ever came out of Project Gorgon. Nothing good ever will. No, boss. Project Gorgon was designed to exploit people. They were trying to make a drug that let you work harder, sleep less, and give more of your life to Spacer's Choice. Don't reactivate the project. Do the right thing. Burn it down. Anytime, boss. Anything else?
We've arrived at Ambrose Manor.
Stay on your guard, Captain. I think she's expecting us.
We'd best watch our step, Captain. She knows we're coming.
Anger a man of the cloth.
That didn't work. Nothing good ever come out of a place like this, Captain. Gives me the heebie-jeebies.
I see they brought all the comforts of home, including the secret lab for unlawful experiments.
Incoming! May you find peace in death! Leave it to me!
Captain, are you okay? Here I go!
I'll take your confession now!
Nicely done.
Didn't I warn you not to set foot in here until the job was done? You should have listened to my advice. There's nothing to discuss. I can fix Adrenatime without you, and certainly without Mother. You wasted your time coming here, and worse, you wasted mine. But I won't let anything stand in the way of progress. You'll surprise me, Captain. Once we fix the chemistry of Adrenatime, the Marauder problem will simply take care of itself.
But a lot of folks are gonna suffer in the meantime. And you don't even know if it'll work.
If you fix it, there's always the possibility you'll make it worse.
The days of the old Adrenatime are numbered, and Marauders are bound for extinction. Insane people addicted to drugs are Mother's problem. Am I to be held accountable for her mess?
It ain't about who's accountable. Those people are hurting, and they're hurting others. You could help them.
Besides, Mother is determined to ruin everything she touches. First Adrenatime, then our family, and now my ambition. Spacer's Choice is only a means to an end. They have resources, I have a plan. And Mother isn't part of that plan. Mother never let me anywhere near R&D. I was always her incompetent little brat. Stand down? I think not, Captain. People want to buy clean drugs, and I want to sell them. Under my leadership, Adrenatime will live up to its promise. Unlike certain mothers. Farewell, Captain. If it wasn't already obvious, you're fired. Didn't I warn you not to set foot in here until the job was done? You should have listened to my advice. There's nothing to discuss. I can fix Adrenatime without you, and certainly without Mother. You wasted your time coming here, and worse, you wasted mine. But I won't let anything stand in the way of progress. You'll surprise me, Captain. Once we fix the chemistry of Adrenatime, the Marauder problem will simply take care of itself.
But a lot of folks are gonna suffer in the meantime. And you don't even know if it'll work.
If you fix it, there's always the possibility you'll make it worse.
The days of the old Adrenatime are numbered, and Marauders are bound for extinction. Insane people addicted to drugs are Mother's problem. Am I to be held accountable for her mess?
It ain't about who's accountable. Those people are hurting, and they're hurting others. You could help them.
Besides, Mother is determined to ruin everything she touches. First Adrenatime, then our family, and now my ambition. Spacer's Choice is only a means to an end. They have resources, I have a plan. And Mother isn't part of that plan. Mother never let me anywhere near R&D. I was always her incompetent little brat. Stand down? I think not, Captain. People want to buy clean drugs, and I want to sell them. Under my leadership, Adrenatime will live up to its promise, unlike certain mothers. Farewell, Captain. If it wasn't already obvious, you're fired.
Here's a little trick I learned in prison.
finished it, Captain. You've put Gorgon down once and for all. I only wish that Minnie had seen reason. The good we could have done together. Join me for a toast in the drawing room. I do believe you're due a reward.
You know, if this were a serial, this would be the part where we are betrayed.
Hand to law, Captain. I mean you no harm. Your reasons are your own. I understand. Nonetheless, I owe you my thanks. Let me offer them to you in person. I'll have a drink waiting.
I find myself marveling at the complex...
Yeah, huh? You want to ask about anything in particular, Captain? Great work.
This unit is under construction. Thank you for your patience.
Captain, I believe a celebration is in order. The Gorgon Project is dead, and we are not. Speak up, Captain. I can't hear a thing when you mumble like that. Don't remind me of what I've lost, Captain. Not now. Not in our moment of triumph. I can't bear to face it under the glare of all these stars. I find myself at loose ends now, Captain. What happens next? I'll gladly humor one or two for the executioner of Gorgon. Of course. Anything else? Or shall I let you see yourself out? Captain, I believe a celebration is in order. The Gorgon Project is dead, and we are not. Speak up, Captain. I can't hear a thing when you mumble like that. Don't remind me of what I've lost, Captain. Not now. Not in our moment of triumph. I can't bear to face it under the glare of all these stars. I find myself at loose ends now, Captain. What happens next? I'll gladly humor one or two for the executioner of Gorgon. Down there, on Gorgon. It was, but I had my work to keep me company. Work, and a great many number of ghosts. Knowing I lived would have only put her at risk. I destroyed Spacer's Choice's premier research facility. If they'd hurt her to get to me, I'd never forgive myself. You've got one left. I'm joking. Ask me whatever you like. Children do not remain so forever. She grew up, and we grew apart. I could have tried harder to reach her, to support her. I know. But I confess, I always found my work more engaging than child-rearing. And Minnie and I had so little in common. In the end, my distance seemed a blessing. Oh, I wouldn't lay all the blame on her. I was her mother, after all. She got her worst traits from me. What else might I answer for you before you go, Captain? I certainly did. Spacer's Choice's negligence sent Halcyon into a tailspin, and they refused to pull Adrenatime from the market to stop it. They forced my hand. I ended the project the only way I could, by destroying everything. I began by shredding all of the personnel files in the Office of Creative Incubation. Clarence was so alarmed by my barbarism, he forgot to call the corporate guard. All his precious numbers and all their precious rows. I should have set fire to them. I released the test subjects from human inquiry and auditing. The ghastly things we did to those people. Marion was screaming, I think, though by this point, my memory's hazy. Everything had gone a bit red. My blood was up, you know. If anyone had dared to stop me, I would have snapped them in two. I had faith a strapping hero would come along someday and do it for me. I'm joking, obviously. You were a bolt from the blue. Or the black, as it were. 2 reasons, actually. I couldn't bear to kill so many of my staff, even though our work killed exponentially more colonists. I didn't want to give up on my research, even after all it had cost us. In those early days of the Marauder epidemic, I still believed I could fix Adrenatime. As time went on, I became convinced I could cure the Marauders. But once again, Spacer's Choice has forced my hand. This time through my daughter. And I have to let that dream die too. Before I explain, there's a critical detail you must understand. Halcyon is in the midst of a slow-moving crisis, one that will not improve on its own. The board knows this, but they're not lifting a finger to address it. In the absence of their leadership, I thought I could bridge the gap. So I tried to create a drug to expand our workers' minds and improve their bodies, help them work harder, longer, and smarter. With everyone at their best, I thought the colony might be able to innovate itself out of this hole. Don't be preposterous. Eugenics is bunk science, a charlatan's game. Snake oil for a pathetic elite who want to believe that they've earned their privileges and that the poor have earned their suffering. My work is nothing like theirs. Don't tar it with their brush. If Spacer's Choice had given me time to perfect Adrenatime, I know I could have done it. My drug could have saved Halcyon. I wouldn't expect you to understand my life, just as I can't begin to understand yours. I am as circumstance has required me to be. But I don't deny your point, Captain. I craved the glory and virtue of success. When you learn how to resist the pull of the beasts at the root of your nature, do let me know. Was there anything else you wanted to discuss before I bid you farewell? Of course. Anything else? Or shall I let you see yourself out? Maybe I'll find a handsome little bolt hole out there in the aether, and endeavor to keep a low profile, as they say. Maybe I'll pick up a soothing, useless hobby, like watercolor painting. Spacer's Choice will want to take their turn at revenge, and I'd rather not be within reach when they do. This colony has enough mad scientists running rampant, I think. I've had my fill of all that for this lifetime. Well, it's time we stop looking back and turn our eyes to the stars. Where will the future lead you, Captain? Halcyon doesn't deserve your tireless efforts, but I'll be damned if she isn't lucky to have you. In any case, I do believe this is the end. Law willing, Adrena Time is dead for good, and the Marauders will die out with it. Goodbye, Captain, and thank you again. May the stellar wind be ever at your back.
Help itself. Please do not be concerned. Remember this unit as it was before the fall.
Welcome back, Captain. How can I be of assistance? I'll be here. We've arrived at the Groundbreaker.
Something busted, Captain?
Hey, Cap.